Okay, folks, this should be the last demo for the day. Let's see if I can make this one come up a treat. That was my belly, folks. This will be an interesting one. I found this somewhere. I forgot where I got it from exactly. I think Mossman Daily. This is it. We don't see these very often, folks. See how we go with it. Roll with it. I say run with it, as in making photocopies, running a job. Run with it. Like what you get in a photocopying bureau. Run with it. Yeah, folks, I really miss. There was a bunch of self-service photocopying bureaus they had back in the. It's been going on since the early 70s, and then they just died out. Whoever remembers FedEx Kinkos? Well, what was used to be called Kinkos, but then it became FedEx Kinkos. And then all of a sudden, Kinkos died out. I think they died out in 2009. But they were founded by a man in New York. I think it was in New York, and he had like curly hair, and he was called Kinko because of his hair. And basically, how am I doing? Why am I putting a dot in there? Basically, he had hair that was a bit kinked, so they called him Kinkos. I think that was his nickname, Kinko, or King. Yeah, and he opened this chain of shops that I think it spread around the world. It was in Australia, and it was FedEx. It was taken over by FedEx at some stage, and then eventually it died. We don't have Kinkos anymore. Not here in Australia. Apparently they still had them for a while in Japan. But I think Konica Minolta took them over. But I really miss the Kinkos, folks. I really miss them. I wish I could be demoing at Kinkos. Back then, I wish I was doing it back then in Kinkos. It would have been a nice thing to chronicle, to have demos made at Kinkos. But Kinkos died. I think, 2009, I think, was the last time I saw them. But they used to have, 24-hour photocopying bureaus that you could just go any time of the day or night. Really nice. But that doesn't exist anymore, folks. That's wishy-washy. Yeah. But, they no longer exist anymore, and I'm really disappointed that Kinko's just died. But obviously, you can probably bring it down to corporate greed. It's a shame Kinko sold his fucking business. He should have kept it to himself. One day I'm going to redesign the photocopier, and once my business becomes a success, I'm not going to let go of it, folks. I am not going to sell it. It's not for sale to anyone. It's just for me to keep. And I am going to make it the best photocopier company on earth, the best manufacturer on earth, and it's going to be Australian owned, Australian designed, and Australian made. The whole product from start to finish. No fucking slave labour from overseas. No fucking imports. Oh, we're going to import things like raw materials, like junk, like e-waste, electronic waste, and we use that, we recycle it and we use it to make our product, so we don't rely on minerals from the ground, which is really wasteful because we've got so much junk in the ground that's become in our ground and it's polluting our world, and we need to fucking use recycled materials whenever we can. And I'm not going to fucking, and yeah, and it's not just about recycling, it's about cleaning up the mess that big corporations have made in the first place, so countries like China and India can have a clean and green start and they don't have to clean it up themselves. Because it's really horrible the way these countries are just taken for granted, used as dumping grounds for Western waste. It's not fair on them. You know, why the fuck do we Westerners use China and India as fucking dumping grounds, and other countries, I'm pretty sure, somewhere along the line? It's just not right. It's just not right, folks. So we're going to help them. And of course, that could hopefully set a precedent for other companies to also start using recycled materials and save the minerals in the... Oh, I just farted. Sorry, folks. And save the minerals in the ground for future generations instead of wasting them, while we've got such a resource of waste that could be tapped into and utilised for the good of mankind and the good of and for the good of nature, so that nature will have an opportunity to regenerate, and there'll be hopefully less climate change, because it's much easier to process recycled materials than it is to process minerals straight from nature, from the ground. So, you know, you've got to think about the environment, you've got to think about the future. You can't think for now and that's it, and then think that it's all going to be all right as long as we make the money, as long as we get this happening and that happening. All about money, 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 making money, spending money, keeping it for ourselves, wasting the environment, wasting humanity, creating slaves. Not fair, folks, not right, and that's not what I want to do. And as I said, once this company becomes successful, even when it becomes successful, I'm not selling it to anyone. It's going to be for me to keep until the day I fucking die. I vow to survive, and hopefully they'll have medicine to stop me from having to retire, and I put my faith in that as long as I can still function, I'm going to stay in the chair until the day I die. I am not going to give it up. I am not going to sell it. I don't trust anyone with my property. And as I said, look at FedEx, look at Kinko's. I think FedEx must have fucked them up. I don't know why Kinko sold it. Well, I think he would have sold it unless he died. But basically, I'm not going to give up my company until the fucking day I die. So it's all going to be good. As long as I'm there in the chair, as long as I can do my job, I'm going to stay. That's it. I'm not going away, fucktards. You think you poach my product? Go fuck yourselves, because you won't. You won't succeed. You'll fucking fail for sure. I'll make sure of it. And I'm competitive because I love photocopiers. I'm a photocopier nerd. I'm otherwise known as a toner head. A toner head is another word for a photocopier nerd or geek. And these are the kinds of people that I want to hire in the photocopier factory. Yep, the factory is going to have the best and the pay, and they're going to get paid the best wages. A little bit more than what they're actually worth. No slaves. Doesn't matter if they come from China or India, they're still going to get paid. Skilled migrants are still going to get paid the same wage as an Aussie, as an Aussie from Australia. So there you go. And there, this has come up looking really quite a treat. I think we can now call this demo quits.